Hello, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Blayne. I'm Diary of a Messy Mom, and I see that I have a lot of new people on here. So I wanted to reintroduce myself. So, first of all, I've always wanted to be a star. Ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to be on stage and be performing. I was a dancer when I was a little girl, and I loved it. It was the best thing in the whole entire world. I felt so alive and so whole when I was on stage. My family encouraged me to perform. Blayne, show us this. They'd have parties, big parties. And hey, Blayne, come out here and show us this new trick you learned, or show us that, or... I was always performing. I still am. Clearly, I'm here on camera. I feel at home in front of people. The world's my stage. Anyways, my mom was also my best friend. We went everywhere together for dance. I did competitive dance, like you see on Abby Lee Miller Dance Company or whatever. And my dance teachers were mean, just like Abby Lee Miller. They were mean, except for we weren't on TV. It was just a regular dance studio, but we were the best. And we won a lot. Anyway, after you graduate high school and dance is over, you make up your senior routine, you perform your senior routine for the last time. After that, it's like, and then what? If you're not the best dancer, you can't really go dance professionally because nobody teaches you how to go dance professionally. Like, how do you do that? What does that look like? My mom always really wanted me to go to college, so I'm like, okay, I'll go to college. A couple of my other girlfriends were going to CMU, so I was like, I'll go there. I went to CMU, and I felt free. I was no longer under my mom's thumb. She pretended like she was the cool mom, but she was also very controlling and harsh with me. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of stuff that my other girlfriends were allowed to do, and it pissed me off. Looking back, I wouldn't let my kids do half of the shit that she actually did let me do, but still, anyway, it pissed me off. So when I got to college, it was like all bets were off. I can finally do all the things that I've ever wanted to do. I don't have to hide it. I don't have to say that I'm staying the night here, but really I'm there. I can just do whatever the fuck I want. And I did. And to make a long story short, I got very much addicted to Adderall. Very addicted. I would steal my friend's prescription. I met somebody that had a prescription, became very good friends with her on purpose, and lived with her the next semester. I would pay the consumer's bill because I had a job. I worked. I always worked. And she would provide me Adderall, her whole prescription for the month. We had a little deal going on. Well, my second year of college, I stopped going to classes. Adderall just became too important, and I dropped out. I heard that you could withdraw from your classes and it like wouldn't show up on your GPA or whatever. So I took a withdrawal from all my classes, moved back to Saginaw, and started drinking. Started drinking a lot, hanging out in bars. I met this guy, and he listened to Blayne Melon a lot. Blayne Melon. And the lead singer overdosed and died on heroin and cocaine. And I was like, we should do heroin. We were all drunk one night. And so the next day, we tried to find heroin, couldn't find it. I knew this guy from high school that did Oxycontin. Got in touch with him, and we bought an Oxy, 1 pill, 60 milligrams, I think. 80 milligrams. And we split it between 3 people, and we were all high as fuck. But after I took that, I felt perfect. I felt like I was on stage again. I felt whole. I felt like all this mental angst and anguish and stuff that I had in me was just settled. It was just calm. It was better. I felt better. And I don't know why, like, I always felt different or wrong. Like, dance was my answer. Dance was my reason. Once dance was gone, it's like I didn't have a reason anymore. I didn't have anything to make me feel normal. Like, I always just felt out of place. Everywhere I went, I felt different. Like, I didn't belong. I was always told I was too much, too loud, too weird. Blayne, you're so weird. Da-da-da-da. But when I did that drug on that day, I felt perfect. I felt like I belonged, like I was included. And I was included with the drug addicts of the world. Like, they treated me nicely. I didn't get made fun of. And then my life just slowly began to morph into buying Oxy and getting more Oxy every single day. It became really sad, actually. Like, during the day, I'd be okay, but at night, I really wanted to get high. And my boyfriend at the time was an alcoholic, and he worked as like a lawnmower, like landscaping. And so he got unemployment. And I knew that if I got him drunk or if I agreed to go to the bar, that we'd eventually end up back at the ATM to get money to get a pill. He didn't really care for drugs, but I sure the fuck did. And that's how that went. I would manipulate him, and we'd go to the ATM and we'd get a pill. Don't judge me. I'm going to put coffee in a baby bottle. No, my nail polish just flaked off. Bro, I just got my nails done. That pisses me off. Anyways. Shit, I'm tired. Got with him, tried heroin, or no, did Oxy for the first time, got hooked as fuck because it made me feel better, made me feel perfect, made me feel whole, made me feel like I was being hugged, like I was loved. Also, I didn't know my dad until I was 15. He came back in my life. My mom had 2 more babies. She had one before him. Then my dad adopted her. And then as soon as they got together, she got pregnant again with my brother. They're, quote, Irish twins, like 11 months apart. And, yeah, so my family went from me and my mom, just us, to a family of 5 within like a year and a half. 3 years of therapy. I've recognized that I never got the relationship I wanted with my father because there were 2 more babies in the house. A. B. Never got the relationship with my father because he was doing drugs till I was 15. So it's easy to say I have daddy issues. I was always really embarrassed that I didn't have a dad around. Like, I don't know why. But all that shit went away when I did Oxy. And the Adderall just became less important. Like, I didn't care about Adderall anymore because I had found my answer in Oxy. And then once you start doing 𝐓𝐘𝐒 and then you see everyone else around you shooting it up, and then they feel it instantly and they're high, and you're waiting 20 minutes till the high hits you because you're snorting it. So then you decide to try needles. And I tried needle and I was hooked. So shooting up Oxy, and then Oxy got too expensive because, and they, like the federal regulations, they made them gel up. And so we tried heroin. Now $120 worth of Oxy was $15 in heroin. So you got the same effect for way less amount of money. And all these people I knew started dying. And it was really weird, and I'm just like, this is fucked up. I can't believe this is my life, but it's my life. And I went into treatment several times. I tried just a detox. That's when I was introduced to meetings. It blew my mind that there was a bunch of old people sitting around discussing their concept of God. I'm like, you guys are all having like an open-minded conversation. This is weird. Nobody's judging here. And that was my first like introduction to meetings. We would ask the people at meetings for a cigarette because you weren't allowed to smoke cigarettes at the meetings or at the detox. Anyways, so yeah, I went to Pathways, then I went to DOT, then I tried to go to this rehab in Minnesota. My grandparents saved up all their farming money and sent me there. Met some really cool people there, but I ended up sucking dick for heroin in Minnesota. Yeah. And I moved to Florida, tried to change my life in Florida. Ended up doing cocaine, working at 2 restaurants. I wanted to go dance for Disney. It was too late for me, guys. Too late for my dancing career. Yeah. And then I moved back home, started doing drugs again. Anywhere that I went, there I was. I kept trying to run away from myself and my problems. But I was still there. It was me. I was the problem. It wasn't this city. It wasn't my mom. It wasn't my dad. It was me. Oh, man. So I came back to Saginaw. I ended up getting on probation because I crashed my car 2 times. The first time I went to jail for the night, got bailed out in the morning. The second time, they took me to the hospital and drew my blood, and I didn't get charged right away. But my PO called me, and she's like, hey, you tested positive for Vicodin and something else. You better go to rehab. And I had already gone and gotten a pamphlet from this place called Odyssey House. And I know that this is kind of where I ended my story last time. So I got the pamphlet. I heard all these people saying good feelings, and I'm like, what the heck is this place? So then when she called me and said I had to get into rehab, I'm like, aha, I know right where I can go. So I went there, and I ended up being there for a whole year in rehab. Whew. And I learned a lot. I learned how to be honest, which was hard because my mom taught me to be sneaky and to lie. And as long as you look good on the outside and like nobody knows, it's fine. In fact, you can smoke crack on the weekends if you still hold down your job. Did you know that? Yeah. Anyways, so it took a lot of work about like unlearning everything that I had learned up to that point, and kind of learning how to be honest and like peeling back those layers by layers. And at Odyssey, they have like a level system, and you get to level 4 and then you graduate. Well, I kept getting to level 3 and like getting bumped back down. Level 3, bumped back down. Level 3, bumped back down. So I was really frustrated and I called my mom to leave. She picked me up late as fuck, high as fuck. My mom was high. She had a Mike and Ike candy box full of Xanax. And I was just like, all right, I guess it's on and popping. And I took 2. And then I forgot the rest of that night. I remember we were driving around trying to like cash checks, like write a check for over, and then they give you the money. I don't know if you've ever done that little hack or whatever. Like if you can't get to your bank account, because she never had actual money in there. So like we were always basically borrowing money. I don't know. My mom had all kinds of weird tricks to get money that she didn't have. Yeah, so we did that. I wanted heroin really bad, but I couldn't find any, so the Xanax had to do. I think we did end up getting cocaine that night. And then the next day, I was like, I need to get my shit together. I just got out of rehab. And so I like pretended to be clean and sober and like started going to meetings. And then 2 weeks later, the pizza guy came and my mom had a $100 bill. And she's like, hey, see if he'll run you down the corner store. Shit, James is awake. Oh, well, I guess that's where we have to stop for today. I'll see you tomorrow.